Good evening, everyone. You are welcome to this event. My name is Mutura Yowaboy. I'm a social worker for Elisha Development and Humanitarian Foundation. I will be speaking briefly about the foundation. Elisha Development and Humanitarian Foundation is a charity organization that is based and operating in Nigeria. It was established on the 18th of December 2019 and was formally launched on the 31st of March 2020 during the government-imposed lockdown to curb the spread of coronavirus, where foodstuffs were being distributed to over 5,000 families in our communities. Mr. Elisha Jose is the founder. Our mission is to build people with dignity and self-worth. We believe every human being should have the same opportunity. Our mission is to advocate for the community development, basic human rights, and social welfare. To create a platform where every citizen can excel. Our values are one, to create opportunity for people to excel. Two, we believe that we should speak for the poor and to protect them. Three, we also create opportunities for people to be skillful. I'll be speaking briefly about the elderly care service. We have 22 beneficiaries, which consist of the aged and the sick in our communities. And we have a team of nurses that do check on them weekly to check their progress, if they are improving, and to give them drugs when needed. Once in a while, foodstuff is being given to them to support them. And once in a while, we do check on them to ask if the nurse are truly coming to check on them. Because in Elisha Development and Humanitarian Foundation, we believe every human being should have the same rights. So by saying all this, we are soliciting for your support, that you should support Elisha Development and Humanitarian Foundation. With your token, we will be able to do more for people in our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Mutura Yowaboy. A round of applause for her again, please. So, apart from our campaign to eliminate hunger and sickness within our community, we embark on poverty alleviation programs for women, empowerment for everyone, and scholarship programs for skill acquisition or studies for young and old people. Also, we have a lineup of events, yearly projects that we do every year to educate and curb the increasing poverty in the community. Projects like the Adigule Spelling Bee, Talent Exposition, Miss Elisha Beauty Pageant, Crusade for Awareness. These projects require lots of funds as each winner goes home with huge amounts of money. We believe in Elisha Foundation that no act of kindness is wasted, no matter how small it is. With your support, we will be able to do more. Your 1,000 naira, 5,000 naira, 500 naira will go a long way to support this foundation. We are also present on social media platforms, on all social media platforms, with the name Elisha Development and Humanitarian Foundation. So you can go online, check us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You find us with the name Elisha Development and Humanitarian Foundation. Now back to the topic of today, how to end poverty. Studies have shown that if you are born poor, you may likely grow up being poor. You may likely have employment problems, and you may likely drop out of school. You may likely be a teenage parent because your parents are poor. Studies also shows that 32% of poor people that are born poor grow up to be poor, while 1% of people that are born rich grow up to become poor. What that means is, if your parents are poor, you may likely grow up being poor. That is why we set up events like this to treat or to talk about poverty. Also, you agree with me that over 80% of people living in Ajegule are living in abject poverty. So over 80% of people in Ajegule are living in abject poverty. They cannot take care of themselves. Their basic needs like food, clothing, and housing is difficult for them because of the poverty they are surrounded with. So without wasting much of your time, I will introduce our first guest speaker that will be talking about the causes of poverty. During the course of this event, we will learn the causes of poverty, we will learn the roles of government in reducing poverty, we will learn the effects of poverty and how we can end poverty. Please help me welcome our speaker. She is a vibrant young lady. She is a marketing and brand strategist who is passionate about using her skills and knowledge to help brands reach their marketing goals. She believes in power of customer loyalty in driving sales and has dedicated her career to help brands build a memorable, relatable, and compelling experience for their audience. Please help me welcome our speaker, Ms. Reina Yaya.
Thank you so much, Ms. Titi, for that wonderful introduction. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first day of How to End Poverty workshop. Before I continue, I want us to take a moment to appreciate EDHF for putting together this amazing workshop. We can do that with a round of applause. Thank you so much. Because not only are they trying to make lives in community better, but they don't want to stop there, right? They don't just want to continue to give bread or continue to give fish. They really want to teach you how to, how to get this bread and how to get the fish. Not so many people tend to do that. Sometimes they just want to leave us where we are. So thank you so much, EDHF, for putting this together. Okay, so let's get back to why I'm standing in front of you, which is to discuss the causes of poverty, isn't it? I grew up in a community where this statement or say quote is very familiar. Poverty is a disease. Are we familiar with that? It's something that they say oftentimes, and at that time, it really didn't make so much sense to me, right? But as I grew up, become an adult, as the billings started coming in, I began to realize that, okay, what these people have been saying is actually true. It is a disease, and I completely agree with that. And like disease, they have processes, right? There's a process of diagnosis, the process where you identify what is causing this disease, isn't it? And then there's a process of treatment, right? And then we'll get to the process of healing, right? After treatment, of course, you're expected to heal, isn't it? And I'm going to use the way our parent does it while we're young at the time. When you start running temperature, your mom will come and then they just touch you. Our moms they're wonderful. They are pharmacists, they are doctors, they are hospital, all in one. And then they touch you and malaria and you. Malaria, there are just two things that is always wrong with you when your mom is involved. Malaria and fever and it's just those two things, there's nothing more. And then afterwards, they go and bring out their bongoni of drugs. Like they usually have this particular plastic that have paracetamol, Flagy, and Bico. I don't know who gave them that prescription, but they do have that. And so, once they touch you and they see that, yeah, your running temperature and it's malaria, they'll give you that paracetamol, then they give you Bico. And before you know it, your fever breaks, right? And then you feel much better. God helps you. They get that diagnosis wrong. You find that even after they give you that paracetamol and that Bico, you are still running temperature. What happens? They go call a professional, isn't it, to come treat you. My point is, until you really understand, right, the root cause of a problem, until you can identify what is causing a particular problem, you cannot find a suitable treatment for that problem. Until you can say that, oh, this thing that is wrong with me, this is the cause, right? That is when you can now say, okay, this is the right prescription, this is the right treatment. Because if you don't get the right treatment for that particular situation, you cannot get to a point of complete healing, isn't it? This is also the process that we are going to explore to eradicate poverty, because of course it is a disease. And I'm going to bring it home. One time when I was working, we have this ending of the month, we do usually get beverages for the staffs. So I was in charge of that, And this particular month, I went to get Dano milk and Milo, and then we distributed it. And in the afternoon, I decided to make a hot milk drink, and I did that. Couple of hours later, my stomach started rumbling. I started experiencing pains, and I had to go to the toilet, back and forth, back and forth. And I thought myself, okay, I think it's this Dano milk that I took. That was what happened. Let me try another milk. So I decided to go for milk. And then I did that again. And then the same process happened. At this point, I was worried. Like, what's going on? How can I be having rumbling stomach from just taking milk? So I decided to, talk to a nurse. And she told me that it is because I am lactose intolerant, that's why these things are happening. So all I have to do is just stick to non-dairy milk, and I would not have issues like that again. If we do not come to a point of identifying that what I'm going through was because I'm lactose intolerant, I definitely would not know that once I stay away from non-dairy milk, I would definitely be fine. I would have still been going through that process again, which is not very, very pleasant. So I'm going to urge us, because the next few minutes of this discussion is very crucial to us, right? Because until, like I mentioned, we know the causes of this poverty, that is a disease that has plagued us for a long time, we definitely will not find a suitable solution to that. That's the cause of all of my story all along. My name is Wayna Yaya, and today we would be discussing, because this is going to be a conversation. It's not like I'm completely free from this plague anyways, we're here. I'm going to be discussing with you the causes of poverty, okay? And I do understand that for some of us, we are just victims of circumstances. We are like the result of poor choices from our predecessors, isn't it? If we are if we're left to make a choice, I'm sure we won't even choose Nigeria to begin with as a country of birth. We'll definitely go and choose some other country before we pick Nigeria, isn't it? But then, the fact that we are not, we didn't make these circumstances, does that mean that we should remain there? Of course not. We have to look for solutions, right, to get out of it. That's why we're having this workshop. So the first point here is the first causes of poverty. I'm not going to be exploring the obvious causes of poverty that we're familiar with. I'm going to be exploring the unconventional method that is individualistic, all right? That is something that you and I are causing to ourselves. That's exactly what I'm going to explore today. And I'm going to want us to pay attention. So the first one here is lack of regard for the rules of life. Lack of regard for the rules of life. Does anyone have a toddler here between the age of 0 to 5? Do you have a toddler? Do you have a baby between the age of 0 to 5? Okay, please, can I know your name, please? Okay, Madam Rachel. What is your name? Two by me. What's his name? The son or daughter? Dunamis. Thank you very much. Can I have a seat? Okay, I'm going to put this to us. If Dunamis, a 2-year-old boy, if Dunamis is able to cultivate the ground, right, and he plants an orange seed, he's a 2-year-old boy, and he plants an orange seed, and he's able to water the ground, he's able to nurture it, will that seed germinate or not? I know, I want us to talk. Will that seed germinate or not? It will, because the rules of life does not have respect for age, does not have respect for your title, does not have respect for your gender. They are rules that if you follow, you're going to get the result. Whether I'm here in Nigeria or somebody else is there in the US or any part of the world, if you follow certain rules that are laid down, you're going to get the same result. It's like mathematics, right? We have simultaneous equation, we have all of these equations put together. If I use the formula here and the answer I get is 2, if somebody used the formula in the UK, the answer the person is going to get is 2. There are no two ways about it, isn't it? There are certain rules that if we follow them, we are going to get the result. And one of those rules is you sow, right? Because until you sow, you're not going to harvest anything, right? And they usually say, as you lay your bed, so you will lie on it. It is whatever it is that you sow that you're definitely going to reap. So the question here is, what are you sowing? What seed are you sowing? All right? Because To actually get out of poverty is not something that we just sit down and complain about, isn't it? We have to take a step towards. Ending it. We have to take a step towards, eradicating it and ensure that this cycle does not repeat itself, or ensure that it runs out of you and does not extend to the next generation, isn't it? And how are you going to do that? One of them is for you to sow a seed that I just explained now. And the sowing of a seed does not have, it's not limited. All right. What is it that you are doing now that is going to give you a harvest in 6 months, in 1 year, in 2 years from now, in 5 years from now? These are things that you need to look at. These are the steps that you need to take first. When you sow the seed, I want to learn a skill between now and maybe September, or I want to start this business, or this is something that I want to do. You are sowing a seed at a time, isn't it? And then you get to the point where this business is scaling. Because if we look at it, if we look at the lives of everyone that we've admired, or everyone that we see as successful people, we can even use our founder as an example. There was a point where he had to sow a seed. Am I correct? Mr. James, you're a witness to that. There are days where he has to sow this seed of this harvest that we are all reaping today, isn't it? There were moments where he feel like, I can't do this anymore, all right? But he continued because he understood that whatever it is I'm sowing now, I'm going to get the harvest. I'm going to get the harvest tomorrow, isn't it? So these are processes, these are rules in life that they are there, all right? And sometimes we do not explore them, partly because we don't know them, all right? Some of us, we're not aware that there are certain rules that if I follow them, I'm going to get this result, and that's why I'm mentioning them to you. One of them is for you to sow a seed. So what seed are you sowing, all right? What seed are you sowing to get the harvest tomorrow? Another one here is, this is part of the rules of life, right? The principles of life. Serve before you are served, all right? Serve before you are served. I'm going to use our Igbo culture as an example here. You notice that when someone among them comes down to Lagos and it starts a trade, right, and then it gets to a point where he's financially buoyant to some extent, he goes back home, isn't it? And then he picks a boy, say 12 years old or 13 or thereabout, and then he brings that boy here, all right, and train the boy in the same trade, isn't it? And give it like, say, 10, 15 years. They say, oh, the boy is done, right? He has finished serving his master. And then they let him go with some millions of naira, and he's established. Do you understand? That one now goes back home, picks another boy, and repeat the same cycle again. And before you know it, there is what? Poverty is completely eradicated. Do you understand? If it's a lineage that is doing that, before you realize everybody is established completely by the end of the day. Do you understand? So there is a process of this is also a rule, yeah, like I mentioned. You serve before you serve, okay? You can take a deep breath and close your eye for a minute and think about the people you've admired, or people that you're currently admiring that are doing very well, that are successful. If you're admiring somebody, you should be very familiar with their biography, isn't it? And look at them in the beginning. Was this where you've known them for a while now, and they've constantly grown? There was a point where they were serving as well, all right? We have some music ministers that started as a backup artist, right? We have some musicians right now that they were currently under a particular record label that wasn't favoring them, right? But at the time, that was the price they had to pay, isn't it? They had to serve this person, okay, before they get to the point where they are now fully and completely established. So these are rules, all right, that are there for us to explore, all right? But if we do not explore them, if we do not regard these rules, that is why we have, this is one causes of poverty that we tend to experience, where we fail to explore these basic rules of life. They are quite basic, all right? But if we do not implement them, okay, you would not see the results, all right? So this is one of them. So this is going to take me to the next. Another causes of poverty is lack of discipline. Like I mentioned, we're going to be exploring the unconventional method. It's lack of discipline, okay? Consistency is a key factor when you're fighting poverty. I won't even lie to you. It's a very, very key factor. And I'll tell you why. Michael Faraday, the man who invented electricity, he failed 1,000 times. 1,000 times. Do you know what that is? To continue to do something over and over and over and over again, and you keep failing. right? Until you now get to the point where you become successful. That is what you do if you want to fight this thing. It's not, this poverty is not smiling with you. And you will know it. It's not like when you don't have money, money will just fall from heaven. It doesn't work like that. You have to work for it. Do you get? Especially when you're not adult. If you're still a child, it's even good. You just want to, mom, please give me, all these small children, they'll just cry to them, I want gala, I want this, to be provided. You, are you want it to? Nobody. Do you get? So you realize that there is need for you to be consistent when you fight. And we see this play out in every successful persons that we are liking ourselves to. Even the likes of Mark Zuckerberg, if you listen to his story, he shares how how many times they had to stay on this thing before we have Facebook, before he expanded to Instagram, before he bought WhatsApp and all of that. So there are moments where these people had every reason to just quit, all right? Where they have every reason to not do this anymore, but they continue going. They kept on going because we have to fight something. We have to beat something. And like I said, like a disease, you have to continue to fight it before you can say, okay, you've completely beat it, right? Until you can fight it, get a treatment for it, and say that, yes, I am not well, all right? So I'm going to share, I think Elon Musk, when I was going through his documentary at some point, and he was sharing his story about how he got his, what's this guy in the Tesla, right? And he said he had these investors, they put all this money together. And so the day the Tesla was supposed to do a test drive, he didn't even know how that thing was going to go. I think he said something like that. He didn't know how it was going to go, but he just had to do it. If that car had failed to move without fuel, all of those investors would have backed out, and there wouldn't even have been more investment to come in before he became the richest man at the time. All right. So my point is, the Tesla actually moved without the fuel, of course, and he had more investment, and that's how he became the richest man in the world at the time. My point is, when you go through that documentary, you find that there are so many instances where consistency, was what kept him going. And he definitely had a goal, right, to become the richest man in the world at the time, and he continued to do that and until he got to that point. So, again, this poverty is like a disease, like I said, and it requires discipline to free yourself from it. It requires a lot of discipline, and if you lack discipline, I don't think there is. Without discipline, you can't even stay consistent, right? Even something as basic as waking up in the morning, taking your bath at 7 a.m. in the morning. Without discipline, you can't do that, right? When a person has diabetes, right? They say there are certain food you don't eat anymore, isn't it? You have to know when to push your insulin into your system and all of that. If you don't have discipline, imagine you are very familiar with eating rice, right? And this is your best food, you like to eat rice, and then suddenly something happened and someone is saying that, do not eat rice anymore. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of self-discipline and determination to say that, okay, because I'm trying to fight this disease, right? Because I'm trying to fight this problem, I'm going to stay away from rice. I'm not going to eat rice anymore. But it takes a lot of discipline for that person to go through that process. So that's exactly the same way it is for poverty. It takes a lot of discipline for you to, stay on the course and say that, I want to beat this thing. I want to fight it. And for me to do that, I have to stay disciplined. I have to stay consistent. And these things, they do require discipline, and I would urge us to, when we begin to put more regard into discipline, we'll take everything that we do seriously and be consistent with them enough for us to push through this phase of our lives. Okay, so the third causes of poverty here is poor choices, all right? I can't tell you how to get rich, all right? But based on my observation, we can tell which choices will ensure you live in poverty. I'm not going to say that there are choices that you can take right now that would guarantee a successful life for you, alright? I'm not in the future, of course, but there are choices that if you make and you continue to make them, there is no guarantee that you're going to come out of this poverty. There is certainly no guarantee for that. And one of them is quitting school. I'm gonna be honest with us. As much as we all say school is a scam, and all of that. It in the real world, it isn't. To be honest with you, it isn't. When you go out there, you realize that there's so many gap when you don't go to school. There are so many gap, and sometimes you may not be able to catch up if you have gone through that phase. If you quit school when you're not supposed to, all right? When you make choices like that, you are damaging your future, and you're also ensuring that you do not exit this poverty stage. Of course, it is not. There are exceptions to every rule, all right? This is not to say that if you don't do this, this is what's going to happen. No, there are exceptions, and sometimes for some people, you may find another route for it, all right? But this is one of them, okay? And another one is bad loans. Okay, there are good loans, of course, and there are bad loans, isn't it? But when we make poor choices, like taking bad loans with higher interest, we are bound to, repeat this in a circle and live from paycheck to paycheck, isn't it? So these are just examples of some poor choices, okay? But there are more, all right? You know yourself, I know myself. You know the poor choices that you are making. I don't know them. All right? I'm just going to say some generalistic things that I've just mentioned. But you know the poor choices that you are making, that if you continue to make them, you would remain in this current state. And we don't want to remain here, isn't it? That's why we are here. That's why we are at this workshop, because we want to take something back home, something that we can implement that will take us out of this poverty. All right. So, like I mentioned earlier, I understand that having to worry about where your next meal will come from, can force us into survival zone. Really, it can force us not to think right. It can force us to make these poor choices. Right? When you have to think about, let's say I go chop for afternoon now. By the time the one you're supposed to eat in the morning, you now slice it into 3. Mark keep this one for afternoon. Mark keep this one for night. We may not be equipped fully, to make the right choices that we are supposed to. But I do understand, and I've been there myself, and this was what I did. When I was in the banking sector, I gained entry role into the banking sector with SSE, like the secondary school certification. And so the first thing I did was to study the trajectory of progress. How do I move from this current state that I find myself to the next state? And when I found out, I was earning 25K at the time. And they said, as an OND holder, you will earn 35,000. HND holder, we earn 45,000. BSc holder, we now earn 50K. It's just what I feel. How long do I, and these things, they take time. By the time I now go, I'm already in the system, do you get? By the time I now go to OND is like 3 years. So then I now do OND finish, I'll now come back. You put now give me that 5,000, do you get? I'll now say, okay, let me go and do HND. That's like another 3 years again. By the time I now come back, what you're paying me is 45,000. So that's like 6 years of my life. So let's say I even want to go for BSc. Maybe I'll have to even quit the job to get into the university, isn't it? Then I get the certification. My point is, when I looked at that, I knew that it wasn't feasible for me. If I continue like that, my siblings are going to suffer. I have siblings that I have to, get out from. I have parents to get. If I continue like that, how long will I, do that before I now get to the point of saying I have completely lived this thing? So what did I do? I went to look for skills that I know. This is something that I did practically, right? You know your field and you know what you can do for yourself. So I went to look for skills that I know that will help me increase this income that these people have capped in this place. And not just in this place, the freedom, what we call financial freedom. We've not gotten there yet, but at least we're on the road to getting that. So I went to look for skills that I know that will give me this thing. And I think in that period, I was still in the bank and I went to take this skill, was digital marketing at the time. So it was quite expensive. So I gathered all the money with that 25K that they were paying me. Because that's what I mentioned earlier. There's discipline. And then the first one is what? The sewing, isn't it? If I'm going to become insanely good at this skill, right, I need to go learn, isn't it? And I have to master it, I have to study it until it is, I know that, yes, when I walk into your room and I'm telling you that this thing I can do it for you, you're not going to doubt me. Do you understand? So I had to go sow the seed. Now take me back to the first point, which is sowing the seed, right? So I had to go sow the seed to invest in myself. I have to learn this skill, isn't it? I have to master it. So I went, pay this money. I had to put all of this money together. It took me like, let's say, 25,000. That's quite a lot. That's small. So I had to put all of this money, say 3 to 4 months together, or 5 months, because it was quite expensive. So I went to pay for this school and pay for the skill. And it just took me 3 months, to learn it. And after graduating from there, I knew that they didn't teach me well. I have to go, get another skill. And then I went to, sow another seed again to ensure that I am better at what I'm doing. So I went again, sow another seed. And by the time I was done with that one, I think I got Google certification too in between. So by the time I was done with that, what was the next thing that I did? And this thing take discipline, like I mentioned. When you sow a seed, you also have to be disciplined. Because if not for discipline, I won't stay on that. It was very difficult for me to master that skill and learn it. At some point, I got tired because, I have to finish the OND. At least if this one will not work, I have to, improve to get to the cap that I'm still maintaining. And so this was all of the back and forth. And without discipline, there was no way I would have been able to, get to that. So I successfully finished, and the next thing that I did was to go look for a place that I could serve, right? Just like what I mentioned in the beginning, I had to look for a place to serve because nobody's going to trust me that I know these things. All right, if I do not prove myself. And what way to prove myself is to what? To serve under somebody, to render this service for free. It's not like you're volunteering, right? And tell the person that, okay, this is it, I'm going to give you this skill, and all you have to do is just give me a recommendation, right? Just write something for me that this person knows is our job. And I did that. I think I did that for a course of 3 months. I'm sharing this story because sometimes we might think that the choices that we make do not affect us, but every the journey of our lives, where we are right now is a makeup of all the choices we've made put together, right from where we're born, isn't it? Up to this moment, whether they are a pile of bad choices, you're gonna get the result, and whether they're a pile of good choices, you're gonna make the result, right? So what I did was to ensure that I am increasing my pile of good choices to reduce, the poor choices, isn't it? I try as much as possible to avoid the choices that would make me remain in poverty. Do you get? So I start to increase the choices, the choices that I make, that I know that they are going to help me get out of this phase of my life in 2 years, in 3 years, in 4 years, and in 5 years. And today I'm reaping the fruit of that investment that I made a couple of years ago. Now I can do freelancing, I can do contracts, I'm employed, and nobody's capping my pay. Do you get? Nobody's telling me that OND. In fact, I don't think anybody even requires certification right now in this current space. Do you get? Nobody's telling you because you are BS, this is where you are going to end. No, there's no cap like that. There is a bit of freedom when it comes to that aspect. So choices are very important. All of this point right from the beginning, which is sowing the first seed, right? And these are some of the causes that when we don't have regard for the rules of life, where some of the rules of life is what? To sow a seed and then you get to harvest. Some of us are not patient enough to go through that phase. And then we have another one where you have to serve before you work, before you serve. These are some of the rules that we are disregarding. I cannot serve under that person. They cheat me. If we continue like that, we're not going to learn what we need to learn, alright, before we move on to the next phase. They cheat you, but you learn it you won't learn a bit. By the time you are done, you go still get power to cheat you again. Knowledge is one of the most valuable commodity that you can get. Once you get the knowledge, it has finished. This person is not just going to tie you down again and say, it's not, once you've gotten the knowledge, it's yours. Nobody can take it away from you. Nobody can come into your brain and pull it out and say, no, this knowledge does not belong to you. It's yours. You own it. Do you get? So these are some of the causes. If we disregard some of these rules, these are some of the things that we're going to experience. And then I mentioned the lack of discipline because you need that, right? If you do not have discipline and you continue to repeat the same thing that you do that gives you this bad result that you don't like, and then you continue to do that, you're still going to end up the same way, all right? Like I mentioned, this is a fight, and you're not going to win it by being by just taking it with levity, all right? It is a fight that you need to fight very hard. And finally, at some point in our lives, we have questions for our parents. Questions like me, I will see my mom because I asked my mom when Otedola was investing, or when Dangote was, where were you? Where were you that time? But did you not hear the information of what this thing they were doing? Where were you? Okay? So again, I understand that some of us, and I know some of us have asked this question at some point. If we're not saying directly to our parents, we'll probably have asked ourselves in our mind, where were my parents when all these people were doing these things? When this person was buying land in this place, or when this person was buying a house, or when this person was making investments to ensure that their children do not suffer. Where were they? Right? But like I said, some of us are, victim of circumstance. We are the result of some of not good choices of our predecessors. But we are not going to stay there, isn't it? Whether or not we stay there now is now our own choice, okay? But then, what are you doing to ensure that your kids do not also ask you the same question, or do not also have the same question in their mind? Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Miss Reina Yaya. Please, a round of applause for her. Okay, so I will take you through some of the things she said about the causes of poverty. She said lack of rules of life. She also said serve before you are served, and she made mention of some of us not willing to serve under someone. You want to feel like, that guy is too small to teach me. Maybe I cannot learn under this person, or this person is too. I'm 40-something years old. I'll go and learn under 20-something years old. This is a big disrespect. Please, for us to be able to end poverty, we need to learn to serve. See, forget age difference. Once this person had something you can gain from them, please go close to them and make sure you learn something from them. She also said lack of discipline. Like when you know, okay, you want to go to school. Someone told me a story about saving money to go to school, and then maybe because the money was not complete, he had to drop out, and then maybe he'd spend the rest of the money. I was like, what did you do to get that money? He said that he did 1 or 2 jobs and what I said, if you can do 1 or 2 jobs to get this, why didn't you, or why don't you do more jobs to get this just amount of money that is remaining so you can go to school? Please, we need to discipline ourselves to be able to get whatever we want in life. So, moving on, we'll be having a short panelist section where we can ask any question. Please just signify if you want to ask any question pertaining the things the previous speaker spoke about, or whatever we'll be talking about during the panelist section. Please just signify. The questions will get to you, and then you can write down your questions and then give it to them to ask the questions. We are not here to just talk and talk and talk. We want you to ask your questions so we can both learn, so we can interact. Please, I'll be inviting on stage to join me. Please, let's welcome the founder and CEO of Elisha Foundation, Prof. Elisha Ajose. Let's also welcome Pastor Semi Latif. Okay, so we've spoken about the causes of poverty, and now we want to talk about poverty mentality. So we're talking about poverty mentality. During the course of the rally, we spoke more about poverty mentality, because when we were sharing the flyers, and some people were like, are you people going to share food? Are you people going to share money? I was like, that's one poverty mentality. 2 poverty mentality. You seeking to eat when we are here to teach you, and then the first thing that comes to your mind is you want to eat, and then after eating you go back to your poverty. So the food we'll be giving you today are all these things we are dishing out. So sir, my first question to you is what do you understand by poverty mentality?
Well, good evening to you everyone. We are glad that you are all here with us this evening. And I want to appreciate the speaker. Thank you for that wonderful one. Well, let me quickly, if I'm going to answer this question in my own understanding, because this question is big. what the word poverty mentality, but I want to talk about poor mindset based on poverty mentality and also greedy mindset so that you can understand what poverty mentality means. Like 10 kids from a well-to-do family were put on one side, and also 10 kids from a low-income family, poor family, were put on the other side. And they take 10 mangoes, put it at the other side, by the side of the rich kids, well-to-do, and 10 mangoes to the 10 kids that their families are not well-to-do. And they ask the well-to-do children, go and take mango. And each one of them went calmly, take one mango. The next one went calmly, take one mango. And the 10 of them take one mangoes per person. And they look at the poor kids and they say, go and take. And every one of them rush to the mango. We are fighting for the mangoes. One tried to take 2. There were 10 mangoes. And that is the poverty mentality. That when people begin to think about, you allow poverty, that mindset to take over you, you become greedy. That what you think about is just what is there for you. Greediness of yourself. And this shows in our society, like we were outside on rally, people will say, are you guys giving us money? Are we eating food? Because that is the concept of the poor man. The poverty mentality is, what can I get? What can you give me instantly? We can look at it, the government is actually using it as a tools to control the masses. So this is what I define as poverty mentality.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. If you are clapping, please clap very well. Thank you. In addition to what you said, I think in my own opinion, poverty mentality is when you believe everything is difficult or everything is hard for you to get. Like when you see people buying things and you're like, those things are made for the rich, they are not made for me. Who tell you? Who tell you that if you walk your way, like if you follow the principles of like that, you will not get those things? That's also a poverty mentality. So everything in life is not struggle or uphill. There are some certain times or certain period that when you get to that stage, you get it. So just have it in your mind that I'll be able to get this thing when you get to that. When I get to that stage, instead of you believing that you cannot get it, that is a poverty mentality. So, Pastor Semi, my question to you is, what are the signs of someone who has a poverty mentality?
It's very important for us to understand that when dealing with the issue of poverty mentality, we are talking about the brain. We are talking about the brain. In other words, the mind. Everything a man achieves in life begins from his thinking. Do we understand that? Now, what are the causes of the signs of poverty mentality? There are so many. Time will not allow us to begin to touch on them one by one, but I pen down two which I think, for me, is a red light that this person is actually breeding a poverty mentality. Number one is lack of respect for time. When you don't respect time, because time is a currency. Time is not just what tells us it is morning, it is afternoon, it is nighttime, or it is time to eat. Time is a currency. Whatever you invest your time in is what you're going to get. So it's important for us, as we talk about the poverty mentality, we should consider that one of the signs to show that this person is actually breathing a poverty mentality is that he does not have respect for time. He wakes up in the morning and then he says that kind of 7 o'clock sleep. Now in the sweet pass, he goes back to sleep again in the morning after he has slept at night. And then before you know what is going on, it is afternoon. And then he just goes outside and then probably order for beans and bread and eats. And the money he used to buy it, he actually obtained it from somebody. Before you know what is going on, it is night again. That person has not done any meaningful thing with his time for that day. So what he has done is that he has wasted his time. Those who form the habit of wasting their time, and that's actually a sign of poverty mentality. So we won't waste too much time on this. Number two thing which I have here is assumption. You know, there is this bad habit of, why is the house not swept? I think say Taye go sweep am. I think say. Now that's assumption. There are many people who built their life on assumption. They assume that responsibility is for others. So they don't take responsibility for anything. They assume a lot. And when you come across somebody who lives his life or her life assuming that this person was supposed to be the one to do this, that person, I think, say, naim for doing, that's another sign of poverty mentality. So if you are living your life like that, I think, say, you are actually breeding poverty for your future. So these are just the two things which I have down here, and I think God bless us in Jesus' name.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so in addition to what you said, I think another sign of poverty is when you blame your condition on rich people, especially when you have like older people that are like your cousin, your family, your uncle that are very rich, and you're like, if to say that my uncle, if to say help me for school by now, I go don't go far. That man wicked. You always blaming your condition on people that they are the cause of your condition. That's a sign of poverty mentality. Another sign that I have here is believing that wealthy people they have luck. It's because they have luck. They are the right place at the right time. That's why they have money. That shows that you have a sign of poverty mentality. Moving on, sir, I want to ask: is poverty mentality hereditary?
Yeah, it is. It is. From home, from our parents, we can inherit it. Even from the school where we go to, from the people we associate ourselves with. You know, like the scripture says, "He that walk with the wise shall be wise, and the company of fool shall be destroyed." The people you associate yourself with also matter. Like, we are born into a family, and the parent begin to tell you that life is hard, things is very difficult, you cannot make it, you cannot succeed. And we hear it often when people say, it is difficult for people to genuinely work and build a house. You hear, if somebody is building a building, they will say, we don't know what this person, probably is a drug addict, probably rich, probably this something. That is the man. And this mentality is passed on to those children, and the children begin to grow and begin to think. Like in this generation, like she said, people say education is scam. It's because the parents have taught, but the society, but it's a lie. If one of the ways to come out of poverty, it's education.
Thank you very much, sir. A round of applause for you, please. So some people even think that educating a girl child is bad, and they will tell their children, see, the girl child ends up in the kitchen. So why educate? They will tell their friends, tell their colleagues, and then the cycle goes on, and you feel like, don't educate your girl child. If you educate this girl child, it's waste. She end up in the kitchen. Thank God we are celebrating International Women's Day, and women are doing great things. So Pastor Pastor, my question is, what are the causes of poverty mentality?
Causes of poverty mentality? I like talking about the brain, and I think, allow me to put forth this question. Yoi Kangi, Yoi Senhin. I just spoke what language? Japanese. And now you see the way I said it, you think I've been to Japan. Actually, just right here, when I was small, I had this. It means good thinking, good product. That's the motto of Toyota company. Now, the causes of poverty mentality is, there are many, as I said earlier on, but we just pick one here, one there, and just put it together, and hoping that somebody sitting down there and somebody watching over the online will learn something. And this is what I have to say. The causes of poverty mentality: one is a lazy, mental laziness. Mental laziness. You can have a big chest and a handful of muscle and vein on top of the muscle, and then you wear one very thin spaghetti singlet, and you look like a bouncer, and everybody is afraid of you. But in your mind, you can be so lazy. So when you see somebody with muscle, don't allow their muscle to intimidate you, because their mind can be very, very lazy sometimes. So now, the causes of poverty mentality is laziness of the mind. And what is laziness of the mind? Laziness of the mind simply means the inability to engage your thinking, engage yourself in thinking. You know, when somebody have high blood pressure, they check the BP and the thing has gone up, the next thing they ask you is what?
What are you thinking?
What do they say?
What are you thinking?
What are you thinking? I think that's wrong, because human beings are created to think. And God gave us our brain. The brain is created to provide solution. That's the primary objective of the brain. There is no problem in existence that the brain cannot provide solution to. And for the brain to provide solution, it may take time. Certain problems, when you engage your brain on those problems, it may take time, but solution will definitely come, because the brain will sort out ways and means to bring about solution to that problem. Are we getting this? Now, the failure to engage your brain is what we call mental laziness. And that actually is one of the biggest what's that question again? Causes of poverty mentality. So now, in rounding up, I would like to say this, that it's good for us in combating poverty. You don't start with looking for a capital. You don't start with looking for a helper, somebody that will give you money. Tax your brain. Begin to think. Those who invent cars, when you see a latest car today, like the latest car, before that latest car comes into the market and becomes the latest car, it all begins with somebody inside one office thinking, how do we design the rear lights? How do we design the front of the car? Should the car look like a rabbit or a snake? You see, all these things, they are the work of the brain. The thinking, you engage your mind. And then whatever the brain produce, whatever design or decoration the brain produce, they take it into the arts department, where artists, they draw what the brain, the design the brain was able to provide. And then the next stage is the manufacturing stage, where they have to begin to create the mold with which they will to form the different decoration. And then when it comes out, you see one boy who have been wasting his time. Latest 2014 Toyota RAV4. But they don't know that for that car to become latest and they praise the car, somebody engaged the brain. So my counsel to us is, let us engage our brain. It will shock you what your brain can produce.
Thank you very much, sir. Another causes of poverty is get rid of excuses. I want to go learn a skill. Okay, I'll start next month. I'll go and learn it next month. Then when it gets to next month, no. I have somewhere I'm going to next month. I'll not be with chance. I'll be too busy. I'll go next month. That's another causes of poverty. You giving excuses and then you keep procrastinating and then it goes on and on. Another causes of poverty is don't compare yourself to others. You don't know what they are doing in their leisure time. You don't know the causes or the things they've been doing in their hideouts. Sure, you understand? Don't compare yourself to others. Start from where you are and grow. That's another cause of poverty. So lastly, before we leave, sir, my final question to you is how do we end or how can we treat poverty mentality?
Well, I think like the speaker said, there's a disease and there's a treatment that you have to go through, and then you discover, you get recover from it. I think there has to be a belief in every one of us that we can achieve greatness. You have to get rid of those mindsets. The Bible says, okay, I'm going to use the Bible. We are Bible men, so, okay, the Holy Book said, let us lay aside those weights that easily beset us. There's this evil thought, I grew up in a family. Now I'm going to use myself as an example. I was born, we were 4 in number. I was living with my grandmom. We were 4 sleeping on the floor. And my grandmom was an elderly person struggling for life. And everything around me tells me it's impossible. But I tell myself, it is possible. I fail to rely on people. We're talking about the cause of poverty mentality where people think, okay, if this my uncle decide to help me, I wouldn't be where I am. But have you asked yourself, if I decide to help myself? I put every uncle aside. I decided by myself that I'm going to struggle by myself. So help me God. And that is one way. Don't rely on people. Rely on yourself. Get yourself fixed. Get your mind fixed. Believe that you can make it work in a society like this. That is the mindset to get yourself out of this. Nigeria is hard today. For an average Nigerian to live a standard life in this country, you must be earning 300,000 naira. If you are earning below that, believe me, you are on your own. But how do you get this mind? How do you achieve something? Think possibility. What can I do? Multiple streams of income. Go for it. Expand. I believe during the week we'll be talking about. But let me talk, because some of you may not be here tomorrow, and because of time, get yourself fixed up with something. Manage your resources until every one of us, until every penny, every kobo begin to count. Some of us will just spend money anyhow. You bring out money, you have no plan for how you spend money. If not, you're not going to get cured. See possibility in achieving something with the little that you have. See greatness in yourself. And I think that is one of the ways that we're going to come out.
Thank you, sir. Pastor Samuel, how do you think we can change our poverty mentality?
How do we change poverty mentality? Most of the traditions, whether a larger tradition, whether the Fulani tradition, whatever tradition you can imagine that has become the norms that controls or guide most of the tribes. All tradition begins with somebody's mindset. And he sells the mindset to the next person, and before you know what is going on, a foolish man's mindset becomes the tradition of a complete tribe. Are you getting this? I will leave it there. Now, how do we handle this? We need to begin to start compelling, in combating this issue of poverty mindset. We need to start compelling ourselves, compelling those around us to start thinking. One of the difference between, I think, the white man, I've always said this, and the black man, they are not better than us because they have a lighter skin. They are not better than us because they have long, fresh, curly hair. You know that kind of a thing now. They are better than us because of the knowledge which they have acquired, and every knowledge comes as a result of deep thinking. Our brother just released your album, your CD, and then everybody were here to celebrate. But only God knows the kind of thinking you went through to pen down those lyrics. What we see is a celebration. We didn't see the mistakes you make, the things you wrote down that did not rhyme with the song, and then you have to clean and add and all those things. So we need to start telling ourselves to start thinking, and not just thinking, because the brain has this ability to think without being compelled to think. You can be here now, all of a sudden, as we are saying all these things now, your brain begins to tell you, okra soup, okra soup, okra soup, okra soup. And then when you go home, you just go and buy okra soup and eat a bar. You did not plan to eat okra soup. Your brain was tilting towards okra soup. So now, that's not the kind of thinking we should tell ourselves to think when combating poverty mentality. I like to say, in combating poverty mentality, we must compel ourselves to think strategically. Strategic thinking, strategic planning, and strategic actions. Again, no time to expatiate on those ones. But whatever you are thinking, make sure that it is strategic. Strategic in the sense that you are the one guiding the thoughts. You are not thinking in limbo. You are guiding your thoughts towards solving a particular issue, a particular problem. That's strategic thinking. And then when you leave that, we should also go to the next stage of strategic planning. You don't always plan to kill somebody's dream. You know, some people, the only time they sit down to plan anything is how they can drag somebody down. No, you can plan strategically. And lastly, when you want to take action, your actions should be strategic. And when we encourage ourselves, first of all, to doing this, and then we encourage others, and if you are a teacher, teach your student this, and then this manner of spending our brain time begins to become the norm. I tell you, we'll begin to have a prosperous and productive, at least first of all, Nigeria first. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. In my own opinion, lastly, I think you should write your goals down and try to achieve those goals. That way, you can stop or you can end on poverty mentality. Thank you very much, panelists. I hope you've been able to pick one or two things from what we said here. Okay, so we have one last speaker to talk to us before we call it a day. Okay, so our next speaker is the CEO of Money Tree Incorporated Limited, and an organization that is committed to raising financial giants. He has a mandate to teach people the 3 M's of money. That is how to make money, how to manage money, and how to multiply money. He is currently based in Lagos, Nigeria. Please help me welcome Mr. Emmanuel Solomon.
Thank you so much. Yeah, good evening, everybody. I almost wanted to say praise the Lord. Yes. Okay, so while I'm talking, in case I say praise the Lord, please pardon me. You know why? I'm a pastor. Okay, I know I'm talking to, in my phone here, I have a Bible, I also have a Quran. I hope you're getting me. So I read vast, I read a lot. I learn from Bible, I learn from Quran too. Okay? So in case I say praise the Lord, please just pardon me, because that is my calling. That's what I'm born to do. Okay, quickly, first of all, thank you, sir, for this privilege. Thank you so much. Yeah, and I think I'll be talking about some certain things in life, and how God has used this man to be a blessing to my life. Okay, and also I'm so grateful to see my senior brother, the person of Pastor Latif. Thank you, sir. Okay, and also, Auntie, you did a very good job. And when you were talking there, you mentioned digital marketing. The moment you say digital marketing, I connected. You know why? Because that's my field. Yeah. Okay. So quickly, I am asked to talk about the role of the government in eradicating poverty. I have seen poverty. I have experienced poverty, and by God's grace, I can say today I have said goodbye. So most of the things I'll be sharing with you, they are things that has worked for me. So I will not just be talking about the role of the government, I'll be talking about your role to help the government. Your role to help the government in eradicating poverty. You know, before I used to think that the government owes me. I used to have that mentality. See, it was the day that mentality died. That was the day poverty died in my life. It was the day I used to think that the government owe me, Tinubu owe me, Sanwo-Olu owe me. They are supposed to do this. And one day, no, they owe us. Some days, my area, they did not give us light for like 4 days. And you see, that 4 days, they did not give us light. I couldn't do anything online. I know how much I missed. Are you getting my point there? Now, I stumbled into the story of this man. In the Bible, it's called Abraham, while in the Quran, it's called Ibrahim, Prophet Ibrahim. Now, there was something God told him. He said, I will bless you so that you can become what? A blessing. And God now told him, he said, through you shall the nations be what? Be blessed. Through you. God did not tell that man that the nation will bless you. He said it is you that should be a blessing to the nation, not the nation to be a blessing. Can you imagine that they are sharing, Ayola is sharing one carton of Indomie? Will you see Brother Elisha there? Instead of you to see him there, he would rather buy Indomie and give them to share for people. There is a mindset you have that when you carry this mindset, whatsoever they are doing, it doesn't shake you. I hope someone is following me. Now, I want to share a story with us. First of all, why do you need money? Because the cure for poverty is money. Somebody say money. Leave all this government matter we are discussing, the cure for light. I mean, the cure for darkness is what?
Right.
The cure for darkness is the cure for poverty. Now money. So today I'll be talking to us about money. I like money. If you don't like money, wait to make you the wake up for house around 6. They come out. Where you dey go? Now me go find, I mean money go find. If money is evil, why you carry am for pocket waka? Hello? If money is evil, why money dey your back? So na bad thing you carry waka. So money is not evil. Money is not bad. Now, last year, somebody invited me to come to Burkina Faso for a job. I helped the person many years ago, and the person called me and said, "Sir, please, I'd like to pay back. Can you just come to Burkina Faso?" They sent me the first invitation. I said, "No, I'm not coming." The second one came. I said, "No, I'm not coming." The third one, the pressure was so high, so I decided to say, "Okay, let me just go to this Burkina Faso and see what is there." And then I got to Burkina Faso. I think the job, they said they will pay me, when we calculated everything, they will give me 250,000. If I change the money to Nigerian currency, I said 250. What would I do with 250,000? In Nigeria, I'm seeing more than from one of my business I do. I see more than 300. So I will not stay in Burkina Faso eating what I don't know. And I'm collecting 250. Somebody go say that guy there abroad. They don't know say they abroad where they know better abroad. So, and I told them, no, I'm not working. I want to come back to Nigeria. That I have something better than what they want to offer me. They said, "Okay, sir." So they said they did not make any arrangement for them to give me my TFF back. That I need to like maybe get back to Nigeria before they will send me my money. I said, "Okay, no problem." Now look at what happened. There's this friend of mine, I borrowed money. And I told him when that trip came up, he now said to me, he said, "You might just go. When you reach there, I will send you your money." I said, "Okay," because we've been friends for over 20 years. But as soon as I left Nigeria, you know what this person did? He blocked me. He blocked my number. He said, "You're all good now, you don't travel out." And to him, maybe I'm going to stay there for 2 years, 3 years before coming back. So he just blocked me. There was no way to reach him. I called some people that knows me and him very well, that please help me talk to this my friend. Look at, I'm stranded in Burkina Faso. I want to come back. I called everybody I know. Come and see. People were telling me stories. It came to a point I was telling somebody, I said, even on 2,000 naira you give me, if I get 2,000 naira from 10 people, now 20,000, it go reach me to reach somewhere. Everybody was telling me, no money, no money. The one who invest me pass. I called this my friend during the cashless period. Anytime I have something new to, I'll call him, come to the house, he will come, I'll share some things with him. So that day I called him, I said, "My guy, see how it be for me, I want to come back to Nigeria, I need money, just borrow me money." He confidently asked me how much he wants. I said, "If I see like 50,000, you go reach me to come back, I know something." He said, 50,000 naira. I said, "Yes." You know what he now told me? He said, "Ima, I have 1 million naira. But as it is now, I want to use the 1 million naira. I cannot even give you 1,000 inside that 1 million. I was like, me where they help people. Now me can't get problem. I no see who go help me. There was this particular person. Anytime I chat it, he go say, "I dey POS, and I want to send you the money now. I want just you go see him. No. That my friend, I told him, I said, "Go to my house, you will see my wife. Now when you get to my house, that I have this 4 plot of land around Abara. I said, collect the land documents, collect everything about that land. Give me 50,000. If I enter Nigeria, in 2 weeks, I don't give you your money. The land is yours forever." That was how desperate I needed money. Are you getting me? And this my guy told me, said, I don't have money to give you. So I just have to look around me. What do I have? What can I do here? What can I do? I put my brain to work. I said, wow, I have fun and I can still browse. So I came online. I do a business called affiliate marketing. So I came online. I started like doing one or two things. While I was doing, I was able to make some sales. And within like 7 days, I was able to raise 250,000 naira. Now, it was that money I raised that was able to bring me back to Nigeria. And then I learned something. Person money, no be your money. Yes, sir. In life, it is wisdom to make your own money. That experience taught me a lesson. All this your friend wey dey pursue, senior man. See, if you no make money, hey, a time will come, senior man go for your hand. Is somebody getting me? When he talks about friends that have money, I have friends. One I called one. He said, to say he paid me yesterday. The money wey dey my hand, I always go buy iPhone 14. I was like, wow. So all this life where I say I get big men. I don't get big men. I hope you're getting the point. So one of the things I want to bring your mind to is the place of making your own what? Money. And how do you make money? I'll share with you something that changed my mindset about money. Before, if I need money, I rush to bank. It's going to 2 years now, I've not been to bank. If I need 100,000 naira today, I'll get it without stepping into the bank, without calling anybody. I used to think that money is paper, that paper. Not until I met a man who says no. Money is not that paper. See, to make money is very easy. I'm telling you the truth from my experience. By the grace of God. Money is one of the cheapest things to make in life. But it's a mystery. That when you understand the mystery of money, are you getting me? You will never suffer for money. Now, what is money? Money is something you get for solving a problem. So, instead of me to look for money, look for a problem you can solve. Government will not come and solve most of your problem. Oh. Yes, as a matter of fact, one of the best things your government can do is to cause problem, create problem. During 2020, when they declared COVID-19 lockdown, God bless government. Oh. Everybody stay at home. I noticed there were some children in my environment, they like making noise. If they wake up in the morning, their father and their mother will say these children, they are disturbing. And one day, I just came inside the house and I saw them playing outside. Then I told myself, I said, come, these children, they give their parent problem. How can I solve this problem? And they're plenty, like 20. If I start to do lesson, we collect at least 100 every day from 20 children hand. That will be how much? 2,000. 2,000 times 30 days is how much? 60,000. Before you know, started lesson. Started from my parlor. These children taught my house something else. They were not writing for Apple for my plasma TV. My wife will call me and say, look at what they did today. I said, don't worry. He said, you know, we'll come. I said, Moses' mother was the one that was nursing Moses. So you go and be nursing. But from that lesson, we were able to start a school. If there was no COVID-19 lockdown, we won't have a school. Because when school resumed, they said, no, we don't want to go back to our school. And pastor school won't go. We don't want to go back to our school. Pastor sometimes will buy peanuts and share for us every week. We don't want to go back to our school. It's pastor school. Pastor will play TV for us. We'll be watching film. It's pastor school we want to go. And before you know, that was how we had a school. Now I don't pay school fees again. I know what in school fee use my IC. When I came back, my wife said, this one, way never they even read the Apple. Say school fees 45,000. I know the funny thing, I'm always out my travel a lot. I know they know when they kind of go for school. My wife would just tell me that I was sleeping, this one was disturbing me, so I can't go for school. I came back one day, my daughter was telling me, say, Daddy Praise is going to school. I said, when Praise start school? He said, she was disturbing mommy, so mommy just took her to school. When I asked how much is school fee, they say 45,000. I say, God, which kind of man with this? Pay this one. But you see, that problem that the government created, I took advantage of that problem. I was able to do something. Now I don't pray, Father, we need school fees. It's not a prayer we pray anymore. That one has been solved. So one thing I want to say to us here is that one way to make money in life is to look around you. What problem can I solve? Not looking for a job. Salary for this dispensation, salary is not enough. Say you want to be working somewhere, they are paying you 70,000. One bag of rice, pass 70,000. Cover your transport. So please, as you live here today, thank God for what Pastor Samuel told us, that put your brain to work. Sometimes if I wake up in the morning and I need money, you know what I do? I sit down, I say, what can I do? What problem can I solve for somebody? I have grace for fasting. I fast a lot. I have grace for fasting. One day I came online and somebody chatted with me, say, Pastor, myself. He said, Pastor, what I do? I said, do that. The guy happens to be a footballer. He said, my club wants to sack me. If I don't score goal today, they will sack me. Go see me for Nigeria next week. I said, what do you want? He said, I want to score. I said, which they say to them? I said, okay, don't worry. You will score that goal. I'll fast. Just go and play, you will score the goal. I didn't go anywhere when the match was going on. I was praying for this guy, fasting for this guy, putting. And that morning, there was this widow I wanted to give 10,000 naira to. I did not have that 10,000, but the 10,000 was bothering me. How do I get 10K now to give this mama? How do I get 10K now to give this mama? What can I do? Oh, I can pray. You know, so everybody cannot pray. Prayer and talent. And I went into prayers. Prayed for this guy. That day, the guy scored. He came back and said, that's your prayer work for me to do. Send me your account number. Send me your account number. And I sent him my account number. And the next thing I saw, he said, I beg, just manage this 100,000. Manager want 100,000. What can you do? What can you do? There is something that you can do. I've told us what is money. Money is what you get each time you solve a problem. See, prayer and fasting will not make you rich. If not by prayer and fasting, Dangote will not be the richest man. The richest man in Africa will be from the church. Though the church has some secret hit millionaires. Are you getting me? It's not by prayer. It's not by every day on Thursday. You go close your shop. Say you are going for faith clinic. On Wednesday, keke wey dem give you drive, you go pack am. Say I go Bible study.
Yes, sir.
That is not what will make you a wealthy person. What can I do? Oh, no light for my area for 4 days now. No light. What can I do? You read electrical science in school. You don't think, what can I do? If you come up with something that you can sell 1,000, you know that if 1,000, if 1,000 people buy that thing from you, you made 1 million. Is somebody following me? So one way to make money is by looking around you. What can I do? Number 2, what can I sell? Judas sell Jesus. See 30 pieces of silver. He sell them. He sell them. No. You are your own if you do that. Once if you see this principle of selling is an ancient principle. The woman that sells rice at boundary market does not need to pray for money. If you go collect rice, what will you do? You give her money. Look around you. What can I sell? Don't wait for government to come and give you job. You can create a job for yourself. Are you getting me? Look around you. What can I do? What can I sell? There's no job. Graduates are looking for job. The government has no job to give them. So you can create a job for yourself. Take advantage of opportunities. Take advantage. For instance, many of you have smartphone. The only thing you do with your phone is to chat from morning to night. TikTok, Instagram. I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, this guy, I think they call him MC Bakara, he was talking about how many years ago he used to suffer. He would go to his in-laws place to collect food to eat. And one day, he told the wife, he said, I know how to entertain people. Let's start entertaining people online. And they started entertaining people online. He said, today, we have built houses. He said, we made our money online. People are making crazy money online. Do you know why they call it smartphone? Smartphone. So if you get smartphone, you know smart. 3310, better person. Take advantage of technology. There are some businesses you can do. Yes, sir. I woke up this morning, I went online, did 1 or 2 business online, and before 12 o'clock, I was able to make 105,000 with my phone. I was just on my bed. I didn't go out today because I needed to prepare for this program. I just sat on my bed, pressing my phone. This person need this person need this. Okay, this is the accounts to pay into. They paid, they got it. Okay, this is what they need to do. 105,000 naira alert without entering boss. My phone, I just 80,000 I buy am. You they use phone of 300,000. You buy phone with money, you buy data with money, you know they use the data make money. They charge her with money. And you are shouting, there's no job, there's no job, there's no job, there's no job. Is somebody getting me? Yes. Look around you, there are opportunities, there are things you can start. I saw children playing. I said, wow, I can start a school. Let me start from somewhere. I did not wait for government to come and give me money. I had to do something. Today, I collect school fees. I hope you're getting the point. At least that's if he reached to go a long way. Somebody say a long way. Okay, I'll be running off soon. I hope somebody's learning something today. Because many of us will just keep waiting, government. If you study democracy, you know that government comes once and the people comes how many times? 3 times. Okay, so I'm able to make us understand that money is what? Something you get. So if you do nothing, you get nothing. Are you getting me? Okay, so don't allow your background to keep your back on the ground. Every great man you see today, they have a story to tell. Every great man, you have the story of our brother here, telling us how he stayed with the grandmother, how they were sleeping on the floor. Today, if he don't tell you, you're not gonna know. Is somebody getting me? And then, we were talking about school. Let me make some of us understand the difference between school and education. Education is different from school, though. Some of us go school, but we are not educated. People go school, but they are not what? In case you can't go to school, you can educate yourself. In case they were not able to send you to school, what is school? School is the system. At the age of 6, okay, make him go primary school, go to primary 1. At the age of 12, he had only chair, oh yeah, go and join second. It's a system, but it doesn't guarantee your success. I hope you're getting me.
Yes, sir.
But what is education? Education is from a Latin word called educo. This is what changed my life. I don't do SS2, I be SS1 dropout. Today I have graduates that works for me. I pastor a church where I have, sometimes when I'm talking, they say, Pastor, don't say that, Pastor, don't be telling me you'll be graduate, because I don't look like it. I read a book that said, if you want to be rich, don't go to school. Which school did I go to? I read it. He said they educated themselves. So what is education? Education is from a Latin word, educo. My dad died when I was 9. My mom died when I was 14, going to 15. I was still around. I just finished my junior YA then, and I had some younger ones. I would go to Apapa. I did conductor for 4 years. But do you know that while I was doing conductor, I was busy buying books, reading. School is a system. Education is something you are doing to improve yourself. No book where you dey find for this word where you no go see for my 2 under bridge. Now dictionary, they say, no, sir, go there, you go see dictionary buy. Is somebody getting me?
Yes, sir.
Anything, I had our sister when she was talking about the place of, they say, okay, come and go for OND, come and go for this one, come and go for this one. You know what she did? She said she had to get a course to go and improve on herself. So don't say because you come from a poor family, you should be poor. Today, if I want to go to school, I can go to school. Are you getting the point? But I don't have that chance again. But I'm highly blessed. Highly what? Yes. Learn something. Get a skill. Improve yourself every day. Not because of you come from Ajegule. Anywhere you go, they don't say that Ajegule you come from. Ajegule means a place where wealth has come to stay. There is money in this Ajegule. There is money in this Ajegule. If you know your way, there is money in Ajegule. So please don't allow your family background to do what? To keep your back on where? On the ground. Don't say because my father is poor, that's why I am poor. I've talked about the place of leveraging on opportunities. Take advantage of opportunities. When you see opportunity around you, take advantage of it. There are so many opportunities today. And then I also talk about the place of having a vision. God doesn't give you money, He gives you a vision. I hope you're getting me. Many of us, they find money. If you see money now, what do you want to do? I plan my money before my money come. Are you getting me? I have a vision. That's one way. The first rule of money, I read a book called The Rules of Money. The first rules of money is that before money comes, you must have something you want to do with the money. Some time ago, I was around Maracana. I was praying, and God gave me a song. And then I had God told me, said, go to the studio, go and do this song. I said, I don't get money. He said, just go studio. So I had a vision. So I'm going to studio today. When I got to Ojogu Junction, where these keke people carry Agausa, I called my sound engineer. I said, I come studio. Is this studio? He said, yes. I said, I'm coming now. While I was sitting down there, somebody just passed. I greeted him. I said, Gabriel, long time. He said, Pastor, you don't tell. I said, yes, you do. You don't tell. That's why I greeted you. The guy went. And he came back again. He said, something asked me to come and give you money. That's why I had to come back. And the guy gave me a particular amount of money. And that was the money I needed for the section in the studio. God knows they waste resources. God does not waste money. God hates waste. After Jesus performed miracle, 5 loaves of bread, what did he tell them to do with the 1 wafer of ground? He said, gather them. The reason why some people don't get money, we have this, one of the problem of Nigerians, we have consumption mindset. Work from January to November, use all the money, do December.
Yes, sir.
Come church that the first night, come they disturb pastor. This year is my year. This year is my year. 2 months don't go half. This year is my year. It's my year of increase. Now they don't know the increase money now. It's my year of increase. You wait just increase half. You must have a production mindset. A production what? Mindset. A production mindset. Money is not meant just to be spent. Money is meant to be used to get another money. Is somebody getting me? He talked about the parable of the sower. I think the parable of talents here, the parable of the talents, where a man gave one of his servants 5 talents. He gave another one 2 talents. He gave one 1 talent. Later we were told that those talents happen to be money. That's another area. That one of the way you can make money is through your talents. One of the way you can make money now is through your. So don't despise your talent. Your talent is very, very important. He gave one 5 talents. He gave one 2 talents. He gave one 1 talent. You know what happened? The one with 5 talents went to do business with that 5 and make money. The one with 2 talents went to use it to do business. If now some of us, then give you that 5 talents. Now J5 they go. That week will not go yet work. Don't have that mindset. Every time there's what we call making money, there's what we call managing money. But one of the sweetest part about money is the multiplying phase. But it takes discipline to manage money. It takes what? Discipline. You know they say, collect money, chop everything. It's a very bad habit. Saving is very, very good. Very, very good. One day I told myself, then I'll buy car 500 naira. I'll be calling everybody. Maybe I'll be pastor. I'll call everybody. Remember how you did? Okay, okay, yes. Pastor work, we go call people. One day I saw one Alajo. Came to our compound and women were, I said, Alajo come. This 500 naira I tell the call people every day. Make I example Joseph. Now go buy car, don't get naira. If the talk sales, I'll flash you, go call me back. Now, I did not know where I'll be getting 500 naira every day. I started saving 400 naira, use 100 naira. 400 naira, use 100 naira. 400 naira, use 100 naira. Do you know that after 2 months, I just come and I salary come. I found out that money where they keep for you and how much? He said 24,000. I said, ah, no, not because another person money give you. That for 400 naira that I'm giving to you. He said, yes, 400 times 30 days is 12,000. I said, that's small money. If you don't have savings, you are not safe. Oh. You know, see, the prodigal son, you see all this hardship when they complain. It not starts to do. Eh? Then tell us for Bible, in the days of Elijah, there was hardship. It came to a point that women were cooking their children to it. Will never reach that level for Nigeria. God no let us reach that level. But hardship is not a new thing. Not be you be first and you can't be the last. You can't say, okay, oh, it's because of it's Jagaban that is there. In the days of Elijah, was it Jagaban that was there? It's something that was happening. In the days of Abraham, there was hardship. In the days of Joseph, there was hardship. I studied the life of the prodigal son. You know what I discovered? The prodigal son was not broke because he came from a poor home. He was broke because he spent all. He spent what? All. You go see small money, chop everything, and be a plan. So money God is giving to you today is not for today. Are you getting me? So money you are getting now is not for now. So get a saving culture. Get what? A saving culture. Now faith they take they save money. So I don't say my son no go reach. You see, there was time I was doing this at job 5,000 every day. I just told myself I want to stretch myself. I want to be saving 5,000 every day. You know what happened? That every day, I don't know how 5,000 was set on my hand. I don't know how. One thing will just do one thing and 5,000 from nowhere will just come. Why? Because of what? There was this mindset of what? Of savings. And then the last one I want to talk about now as I close is the place of you being a giver. Being what? So when they told me about this meeting, I had to think, I had to pray, I had to fast. God, what do you want me to go talk for them? And I was so surprised, sir, that the only thing that was coming into my mind, so don't worry, I'm not raising money, I'm raising people. See, you can't fight poverty if you are not a giver. You can't what? You can't fight poverty, not be your way to. Some of you, they're born in committee. Your papa fight and die. Your grandpa fight and die. Now you won't fight poverty with hustle. One way to conquer poverty is through what? Is through giving. Money is called currency. You know why they call it currency? It's from the word current. Money is supposed to dey flow from this person to this person, from this person to this person. But some of you, if money enter your hand, hold on, you are going nowhere. Let's learn from the leader of this house. He's a giver. He's what? He's a giver. See, cultivate this habit. Start from where you are. Many years ago, I met a man. This man happens to be a man that has many houses. I was told he has over 100 buildings in Nigeria. So don't say, right now I don't already get money. Why I will give out money? That's why some people are poor. You only give to poor people, that's why you remain poor. Sometimes give to rich people to have the grace of becoming rich. Are you getting me? Some of you know why you poor. Now only poor people they give money. Are you getting the point? When I wanted to marry, A month to my wedding, you know what God told me? He said, that money wey dey your account, go and give it out. I emptied my account 2 weeks to it. I did not know what I would do. It was just 3 calls I get. Money started coming from everywhere. But I had to close the one I have. I met this man. And I've been hearing about him. So when I saw him, I went to meet him. I said, sir, please sir, can I buy a recharge card for you? He laughed, said, why do you want to buy a card for me? I said, I just want to tap something from your life. And then I bought MTN, I bought Airtel, I gave to this man. When I gave to this man, you know what happened? He said, kneel down, I knelt down. And he prayed one prayer for me. He said, the God that blessed me in this Lagos will bless you. I said, amen. Now, do you know what happened? That month, I saw my financial life enter another level. Another time again, I saw my financial life enter another level. So this money I was saving, one man that had a problem in our area just called me. He said, Pastor, any money we get, give me. Make I give you this my land. So you know what I did? Thank God for saving. I was able to get that land. And since I know the man is into property, so I called him. I said, sir, please, I need your advice. I'm going to get a plot of land somewhere. And I know you know that area very well. Should I? And he now said, come to my house. I was like, wow, come to your house? He said, yes. I said, thank you so much, sir. I'm coming to your house. On my way going to his house, I remembered that I just have 1,005 in my pocket. And I told myself, how will I go and see this man? I don't carry money, and I'm not coming from the house. So I saw this bottle of granules. I bought this bottle of granules. This is not a poor man. No. This man get house for England. Now one pikin he born. He get over most of these kosharis managers. They are his tenants. I bought a bottle of granules and I went to the man. When I got to his house, I called him. He said, come in. This man has like 4 parlors. I entered the first parlor. He said, no, that's not the parlor. Come inside. I entered the second one. He said, no, that's not the parlor. Come inside. I kept coming inside. Finally, I saw him somewhere sitting. He said, son, what do you want? I said, sir, this is what I want to do. I just need your advice. He said, no, you don't need my advice. You need my grace. He collected the granite from me. And he said, as long as you cannot count the granite in this bottle, he said, you will not be able to count the lands you will get. I know they work, but last year, God gave me 14 plots of land in Lagos. I'm not working. I told somebody sometime, the person was like, nah, for this Buhari regime, you go, it's not possible. When I showed the person the land, showed the person the documents, the person was shocked. By my own strength, I wouldn't have been able to get it. I saw Bushi one day at my 2, Bushi that sings. I saw him at my 2, and I was going, and somebody told me, why would you see Bushi and pass? Come on, go and give Bushi something. I said, I 1K in my pocket too. He said, go and give Bushi the 1K, treble. I went to meet him and said, sir Bushi, please, take this and buy fuel. The guy was surprised. He said, you give me money to buy fuel. He said, for traffic, now people they collect from my hand. This is my first time somebody gave me money for traffic. He said, what do you do? I said, I do music. He said, watch out from today, doors will open. I go there my house. A pastor will call me that somebody told us about you. Can you send us your picture to come and minister in the concert? Please, I'm running up now. One of the greatest secrets of prosperity, if you want to prosper in this life, learn to do wetin, learn to give. Give us never lack, no be slogan no. Giving what? Last Christmas, after I have shared money to widows, Mama take this one, Mama take this one. On the 24th of December, I said to myself, even though I give them 10,000, I give some 12,000 naira. The one in Nigeria pay now, it's only no provision. Let me give them rice. Now, I did not have rice. I had just half bag of rice at home, and my family, they gone for holiday. So I called my wife, I said, honey, you know what? We are giving out this half bag of rice. He said, when we come out from holiday, what are we going to eat? I said, I don't know what we're going to eat, but we are giving out this half bag of rice. But before you will come back, another bag will enter. Hallelujah. Oh, sorry. There's me I'm not talking about. So
So I'm running off now. Like I told us earlier, that before you know, I came to Ajegule, I shared that rice. It wasn't much, but you know that in 2 days' time, I got a job online, I did the job, and the money they paid me was enough to buy me another bag of rice. So, not be until you get plenty before you go dey give. The best time to give is when you don't even have. Many of us wey you see so today, na giving make us dey where we dey. We gave our way out of poverty.
Yes, sir.
Last week I was looking for 10,000 naira, and God told me, say that 10,000 wey dey find, I had 20,000 naira. I was looking for 20,000 naira, so I needed 10,000 to balance am. And God told me, say that your 10,000 wey you don get, give it out, and I'll give you 10,000. I said, okay. Carry my phone, send it to Bishop Olipo's account. After I sent the money, you know what happened? Somebody called me from Dubai. He said, sir, please, I want to get a land in Nigeria, and I know you do real estate. I said, yes, I do real estate. He said, do you have any land around 1 million naira? I said, yes, we have the land around 1 million. And he said, okay, send me an account number, I will send you the money. And this guy now sends the 1 million naira to my secretary's account. So I was about calling the company. They say 1 million naira don't come, make una send una account, make I send una the money. I was looking for 10,000. But when I was about calling them, one thing, I don't know, so one spirit just enter me. He says, instead of you to give them the 1 million, why you don't negotiate? And I called the chairman. I said, chairman, I have a business. Somebody won't buy land, but he said 100,000 gets. You agree, you know, agree. The guy don't buy from that place. If you don't agree, I'll send that money. He said, no. Why you go give her the money back? I need the money. Bring the 900,000, come. That was how I saw what? It is I give her the 100,000 back. See yourself. If to say I no give out that 10,000, I would have missed that 100,000. Are you getting me? I just said that was not normal. As soon as they got the money, the 900,000, they said, send us your account number. That for giving us this client, we want to give you 10% of it. I say, wow, 10,000 naira brought close to 200,000. Please, if you don't grab anything from what I just said today, grab this one. The gift of a man does what? Maketh way. If you know the gift, you get where you no go enter for this life. If to say Tinubu no give, you no settle, you go there as a rock. What we talk to? This is the last word I will say. No, what we talk to now? If to say Tinubu no give, you go there where they. Abba go pray, Tinubu go keep am. Pastor go pray. Even when pastor no gree, he employed bishop, say this one's a bishop. He gave them. In every nonsense there's a sense.
In every nonsense.
Obi say I will not go give shishi. I bought Obi. I no go give shishi. I no go give shishi. Alpha. Yeta. The gift of a man. Put those hands together. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. In addition to what Mr. Solomon has been saying for the past 45 minutes, you have a smartphone. Please, make do with it. Google is your friend. You can ask Google anything. Ask Google, what's the color of rice? Google will tell you. Don't wait for people that will tell you that, okay, there's a job somewhere. You can ask Google, what can I do online to fetch me money? And Google will respond. So I want to appreciate everyone who turned up for this event. Thank you, Pastor Sunday. Thank you, Honorable Bailo. Thank you to the youth president of Ajeromi Fellow Youth Council and founder of Prince from the Slum. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Please, I urge you to please don't miss a day out of this 3-day event. We'll be giving out some slots for some things. It's a surprise anyways. So we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Thank you very much.